Welcome to Pete and Hannah's Watch List. I'm your host, Pete Mitchell. I'm here with my great co-host, Hannah.
Hello, people.
Hannah, we're here today for What's Next?
What's next?
The show where we help you figure out what to watch next. On today's show, we are going to review the Pharrell Williams documentary piece by piece.
Brick by brick.
Brick by brick. We're also going to look at Viggo Mortensen's directorial debut.
Yeah, written and directed by him.
Yeah, The Dead Don't Hurt.
The Dead Don't Hurt.
Yeah, and they're also going to look at Ray Fiennes, jacked. He's jacked in this movie. It's called The Return. But before we begin, let us tell the viewers and the listeners what they should do.
Could you pretty please leave a like and subscribe to our channel?
Subscribe.
Leave a comment down below your feedback on this show, any of our other shows, thoughts, feelings.
Hit the notification button and you'll get great content like this one, including AFI Top 100, 10-year revisited, movie number 49, Intolerance. Wow. What a movie. But next week, movie number 48 is going to be Rear Window, and Hannah's hosting it, so it should be a good episode.
Well, it's my favourite.
Usual stuff on the channel this week, movie news, bit of clickbait. Yeah, I love it. Including reviews and everything that Pete and Hannah's Watches deliver to you, the fans. Hannah, 2024 championship belt holder. For you, it is?
Wicked, part 1.
For me, it is Wicked as well. I've worked out the only movie that can take it over now, because The Brutalist is not going to get released in Australia until next year. So that was a contender. But there's only one movie, for me, that can beat Wicked.
Yeah.
It's Conclave.
Yes.
We're seeing that in a couple of weeks. Hannah, there is a movie that can beat Wicked for you. It's called Mufasa.
No, that's gonna have banging music, but that story is gonna be trash.
Oh my god.
Because honestly, if they were like, "Oh, we're gonna take apart like a different Shakespearean story," I would have been like, "Yeah, sure." But they're not.
Sure.
I was like, "Sure," but they're not. And also that the live action animation style they use is, I just cannot stand those lines.
Let us get on to today's show, Hen.
Yes.
Let us talk about the first movie, Piece by Piece. This movie is a documentary on Pharrell Williams' life. The producer, the singer, the writer from the Neptunes, NERD,
Fashion,
Forward, Skater, Get Lucky, Happy, Blurred Lines, all of them.
Yes.
This movie, the elevator pitch, is about his life set to Legos.
Yes, told through Lego, yeah.
And they interview all the people in his life, including Timbaland, Missy Elliott, Busta Rhymes, Jay-Z,
Snoop Dogg,
all through
Lego. Like it's he saw those he saw the Lego movies and was like, yeah, I want to do that, but for telling his story.
This is written and directed by Morgan Neville. Now, you might have remember him from such documentaries as he did the Mr. Rogers documentary.
Oh, yes. Yes.
The neighbour one?
Yeah.
How good's that?
Yeah, well, people...
That was a really good...
People...
Won't You Be My Neighbour? He also did the 20 Feet from Stardom, where like a documentary about the backup singers, famous backup singers.
Yep.
He's done the Steve Martin documentary that was released on Apple TV Plus this year.
Yeah,
he's done a fair few. But like he interviews Pharrell. There's a bit of a joke at the start about, oh, you want this to be in Lego?
Yeah.
It takes a little bit while getting used to.
I initially, because the way they started, it is just like what a regular documentary would be, like the way he is just being all homely and all the kids need to be quiet kind of thing. It's like, oh yeah, I've seen that in real life, and to see it through Lego form is like really, I think works weirdly enough with Pharrell's life.
Yeah,
because he's always been kind of like future, like cutting edge in a weird way. So him being like, you know what,
he's always been like that.
He's always break the mold in his own way. Like, he's unique and creative, so it's like he wasn't going to make a by the numbers documentary, so to speak, even though a lot of this format is the whole actual idea of it is quite creative.
I like it in this how they tried to create tension, saying
He made some bad music.
Made some bad music, so his life is falling apart.
The corporate, the evil corporate overlords. Yeah,
he's just a really successful person in life.
Yeah, but he was when you get to see, why he chooses Lego, because he actually is quite childlike. Like everyone in the interviews talks about him like he's like the little brother. They always like he dresses hood, but he's not that way at all. Like he loves life, and he's like quite just like adorable in a weird way.
Yeah, and
so so telling his story through Lego, almost like this wildlike imagination really comes through.
Should people watch this movie? Now, I think this is a really good streaming movie.
Yeah, it's solid.
Yeah, it's a solid movie.
This is a documentary that if you have someone young who's like getting into music, and like
great call,
and like that this is something they need to watch instantly, because it's just like this will it just gets the creative he basically didn't have anything so he made something. Like him and other people made something out of basically nothing, so it's really really interesting.
Gwen Stefani's in this as well, like
she's
quite cute.
And the music, it is like you go through his hits and you're like, he had these fingers in all these pies, and they are brilliantly. They were some of the best music.
And the way it's told through Lego as well.
Oh, it's so much
like some of
fun.
The music videos.
Seeing it, you're like, oh wow! Yeah. If you saw that in non-Lego form,
to be honest, there's no way this movie would be at the cinemas itself, if it wasn't for Lego.
Yeah, the Lego.
The Lego brings it in.
Yeah, I think...
And they're really cute. Oh, I reckon...
No, it's...
Snoop Dogg as a dog.
Yeah, he turns into a dog.
Yeah,
like
great.
the little dog Lego. Really adorable.
Hannah, would you recommend people to watch this movie?
I definitely think so. If you love that documentary music industry, even though it's quite cotton candy in a popcorn sort of way, it's still an enjoyable watch.
Rating for this one?
What are you feeling? As a documentary goes?
It's a golf clap.
It's a golf clap.
Yeah, it's a golf clap. Piece by Piece is in Australian cinemas now, and you can get it on VOD in the States. The next movie we're going to look at is The Dead Don't Hurt. Now, this movie has just been released in Australian cinemas, and it released in May in the States, and you can get it on VOD. It is the second movie Viggo Mortensen directed after the 2020 movie Falling. This movie stars Vicky Krieps, who was in Concierge. We saw that last year, the French film, about one of the queens. And we also saw her in Old, the M. Night Shyamalan movie.
I don't want to remember that movie.
And she was also played the title character in Phantom Thread with Daniel Day-Lewis, PTA's movie. This movie, the elevator pitch, is about two elder people that meet, fall in love, and then are separated by the Civil War and living in the harsh terrain of Nevada. Reasons to see this in.
Oh, this is like Viggo Mortensen's fangirl's dream of a movie. If you love Viggo Mortensen, it is just like him as like a sultry, like what is he, Danish cowboy kind of thing? Like he is just charming. He's quite charming. And Vicky Krieps is quite she's very strong in the role. This is what I'd call a very much, I don't want to put it to a thing, but it's a female melodrama, so to speak, like a really, like in that same vein as like, you know, your Titanics of the world, like your Sophie's Choices and stuff, like that real melodrama that you're just like,
It's this one is totally harmless movie, just a totally harmless movie. Wouldn't hurt anyone's feelings. Viggo Mortensen, okay, we've had that guy in our lives since 1985, where he played an Amish boy in Witness, the Harrison Ford movie, directed by the great Peter Weir from Australia. And we've had him in many different movies, like History of Violence. He was in the Lord of the Rings trilogy, which we saw
probably
recently,
his most well known. Yes,
and he was great in many different movies. He was in the Best Picture winner Green Book as well. Like he's had a great career. The Road, really eclectic career, hasn't he?
Yeah, no, definitely.
And he's been in recently a lot of movies from overseas as well. Like he's really played if you didn't know that he was from America, you probably think he was European, but he's born in New York and stuff like that.
He
really
can
holds himself.
Yeah, the way he also his acting, he's able to get into different roles. It's really well done.
One of my favorite movies that he did was Hidalgo, where he rode. And this movie gave me a lot of that vibe because he rode a Palomino horse in this movie, and it sort of gives Hidalgo vibes and sort of thing like that in this movie as well. Some of the other cast, Garrett Hedlund from Raising Hopes in this movie.
Yes,
Danny Houston,
and Mindy Project. Yeah.
Danny Houston, who always plays a bad guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's plays the type in this one as well. Yep. It's well shot. It's a pretty story. It would not hurt. It's if you had a wet night and you want to have a little movie, it wouldn't hurt anyone.
A Western melodrama.
Hannah, you said it perfectly. It is a Western melodrama.
Yeah, it is.
For me, it is I wouldn't go see it at the cinemas, but if you're at home and you're looking for something to just put on the tube, I would say definitely a watch. And a rating for this one is I played on my phone.
Yeah, I played on my phone.
That is The Dead Don't Hurt, and that is in Australian cinemas. Yeah. The next movie we're going to talk about is The Return. Now, it's just had a release in the States, and I brought it up on last week's episode on Watch or Miss, and I said it's a definite watch, and I thought time to give it a good review.
Yeah.
And
tell me about it.
The elevator pitch for this movie is Odysseus is finally come home after his long the Trojan War and making his way back because he's the king of Ithaca and Greece, and his wife has been chased by all these suitors because they all think that he's dead and they want to marry her, and she's got a son and he hasn't come home yet, but then he sneaks back onto the island and he hasn't showed himself, and then she's got to make a decision of should I marry someone else or should I wait for him. Ray Fiennes stars in this movie. Julianne Bush, I don't know what they've done, right? They've made a deal with the devil, or they've taken drugs, or they've had the best plastic surgery in the history of mankind, but they look better than they ever have in the history of mankind.
Both of them? Or?
Both of them.
Yeah.
Julie Binoche, always attractive, always been outstanding looking, like the French. Wow. Ooh la la. Her and Ray Fiennes were in the movie The English Patient in the late 90s.
Yes, sir.
And won Best Picture. And they're starring in this movie together again. And take a look at some of their photos, and I'll put some of the photos up of Ray Fiennes.
Ray Fiennes.
He's absolutely jacked in this movie. It's absolutely scary.
Yeah.
He is just unbelievable, and the way he plays his character is, it is PTSD. He's really struggling for the decisions that he made, sending the best of his people to death in this Trojan War that didn't really give anything. Julia Binoche is just such a strong character in this movie, and she is trying to keep the whole island together. She's fending off these suitors that they have. It's a well shot movie. Ray Fiennes is brilliant in this movie. It's directed by Upedo Pasolini, who was a producer of the Full Monty and movies such as like that. Written by Edward Bond, and Edward Bond did Blow Up, Walkabout, Fury, movies such as that, and I can highly recommend this movie. It's like a bit of a slow burn, and it is really a drama focused on what happens to somebody that has gone through such a traumatic thing in life and cannot face themselves, and they come back to home, and people at home have made some really tough decisions and what life they've sort of lived.
Like life changes
It
people,
is unbelievable. This movie alone, just to see Ray Fiennes absolutely jacked, veins popping out of everywhere. He is Rocky IV-esque in this movie. He's so jacked.
Yeah.
He's in his late 60s.
Like similar to when J.K. Simmons was posting pics of himself.
Yeah.
As Jim Gordon.
Yeah. They would go, like, if they were doing a Mr. Universe, it'd be really tight. It'd be really tight. Yeah. I actually really enjoyed this movie. It was really highly enjoyable. I know Ray Fiennes is getting a lot of love for Conclave for nominees and stuff like that, but
this one was
the way he plays this character. It's a famous character. It's been played so many different ways and by so many different people. I just really love that. I can highly recommend The Return, which is in Australian cinemas in limited release now, and it's also in American cinemas in limited release as well. Hannah, that is it for today's show. Anything else to add?
No.
Rating for that movie is a golf clap, definitely.
Yeah.
The Return. So we reviewed The Return, which is a golf clap and it's a watch. Piece by Piece by Pharrell Williams' documentary. That is also a golf clap. And The Dead Don't Hurt, which again in VOD in the States and limited release in Australian cinemas. That is I played on my phone.
Yeah.
That's today's show. Hannah, tomorrow is movie news and it's clickbait. And we're going to talk about in clickbait tomorrow the Golden Globe nominees because we get the ceremony in January. So
yes.
Look forward to reacting to that with you as well. Don't forget to listen to the AFI Top 100 podcast. This week is Intolerance movie number 49, and you can actually watch that free on YouTube as well. Hannah, long live cinema, and until we meet again, it's bye for now.
Bye.